If you've watched a Hallmark movie in the last decade, you know this face. But there's a name that comes up again and again. Not always loudly, not always in the spotlight, yet his influence is everywhere. Peter Benson, actor, director, storyteller, and one of the most trusted figures behind the scenes at Hallmark. Today, I want to talk about a man who is equally comfortable in front of and behind the camera, Peter Benson. We're going to look at his roots in Canada, the family foundation he built with his wife, actress Julia Benson, and how he transitioned from being a recognizable guest star to one of the most influential directors in the Hallmark universe today. Peter Benson didn't come into this industry chasing celebrity. He came into it wanting to do the work well. There is a steadiness to him, a humility that feels deeply rooted in how he was raised and where he comes from. Born and raised on the west side of Vancouver, Canada, Peter is a product of Hollywood North. But he didn't just stumble onto a film set. He built a real foundation first, earning an honors degree in communications from Carleton University before mastering the technical side of the craft at the Vancouver Film School. His early career shows a man who was willing to learn every corner of the business. Long before he was a Hallmark leading man, he was a digital ghost doing the motion capture work for 19 different Barbie movies. He wasn't looking for his face on the box. He was learning how movement and emotion translate to the screen. He cut his teeth on gritty, high-stakes sets like the Oscar-nominated District 9 and the Western drama Hell on Wheels. From the beginning, Peter gravitated towards storytelling, not just performing lines, but understanding why a story works, what motivates a character, and how a scene breathes. That grounded nature comes from a real-life foundation, too. He's been married to fellow star Julia Benson since 2009. Together, they've built a life in British Columbia that balances high-profile careers with a deeply private family life. That curiosity he had as a student would eventually define his career. He spent years as the support system of the network, the dependable detective, or the amicable ex, quietly observing how the best movies are made. It was that specific history, that willingness to start from the ground up, that turned Peter Benson into the most important director in the Hallmark universe today. We first truly fell in love with Peter as Detective Arthur Smith in the Aurora Teagarden Mysteries. For years, he was a Laurentine staple, playing the grounded, logical foil to Rose's high-energy sleuthing. While Aurora followed her intuition, Arthur followed the law, and that balance gave the series its heart. He played Arthur with a unique mix of goofiness and charm, a man who could handle a burglary unit, but always seemed to be one step behind Rose's next big discovery. But Peter's biggest career move happened when he stepped out of the precinct and into the director's chair. His journey behind the lens actually started with a passion project back in 2014, a film called What an Idiot. Now, a quick disclaimer for my Hallmark purists: this is not a countdown to Christmas movie. It's a sharp, edgy indie comedy that Peter wrote, directed, and starred in alongside his wife, Julia. And get this, Benjamin Ayres is in the movie too. Seeing two of our favorite Hallmark leading men in such a raunchy, R-rated comedy is a total trip. While the tone is a far cry from the North Pole, that experience proved he had the vision to carry a whole production from script to screen. He brought that same ambition to Hallmark, officially making his network directorial debut with the high-stakes Aurora Teagarden Mysteries, Heist and Seek in 2020. It was a full-circle moment, directing the very franchise that made him a household name. Since then, he has quietly become one of the network's most trusted architects, helming some of their highest-rated projects on IMDb. If you swooned over the sweeping romance of the wedding veil expectations, felt the emotional depth of Rise and Shine, Benedict Stone, which I felt is one of the most underrated movies of Hallmark, or loved the rugged charm of Big Sky River, you have Peter's vision to thank. He even touched the fan-favorite crossword mysteries with Terminal Descent and the recent festive hit Joyful Mrs. Miracle. He understands the Hallmark magic from both sides of the lens. He knows exactly how a shot needs to look to make a moment feel iconic, because he spent decades living inside those moments himself. Peter's roots in the industry are deeply intertwined with his family life. He has been married to fellow actress Julia Benson since 2009, and together they are a true Vancouver production power couple. They don't just share a life, they often share a call sheet. You've likely seen them on screen together in films like Season with Love, or spotted Julia in the Aurora Teagarden series, where she played characters like Naomi and Eve. But the collaboration goes even deeper behind the scenes. They even co-founded their own production company, Married to the Boss Productions. Peter has directed Julia in several of his biggest projects, including his very first indie feature, and more recently in the festive hit Joyful Mrs. Miracle. They've been working side by side since their early days on the sets of shows like Stargate Universe and Supernatural. Today, they share a daughter and have mastered the art of balancing two high-profile film careers while staying remarkably grounded. In an industry known for its fast pace, their ability to remain a rock-solid team is a major point of respect within the Hallmark community. There's a legendary self-awareness to Peter's work, too. He's often joked in interviews about his long history of playing the amicable ex, the nice guy who loses the girl to the leading man, but stays a total gentleman about it. He's even called himself the most amicably dumped boyfriend in Hallmark history, and he isn't lying. Take the movie Love and Sunshine. Peter plays the fiancé, Ben, who has to take it on the chin when the lead sparks a connection with a returning soldier. Or look at the fan-favorite Big Sky River with Kevin Smith. In that one, he's James, the ex-husband from the city who just doesn't fit into the rugged Montana life. He often plays the guy who is just wrong enough for the heroine to move on, but right enough that you almost feel bad for him. So the next time you're watching a Hallmark movie or episode and something just feels exactly right, the pacing, the emotion, the way the tone shifts effortlessly from a laugh to a tear, take a close look at the credits. Chances are Peter Benson had something to do with it. He isn't just a director for hire. He is a storyteller who spent 20 years learning every corner of the industry. From the technical discipline of those 19 Barbie movies to the grounded heart of Laurenton as Detective Arthur Smith, Peter has built a career on the idea that the best work is often the quietest. That influence? That's exactly why he matters. He's the man who proved you can be the amicably dumped guy for a decade and still end up as the one calling the shots for the network's biggest hits. He is a testament to the fact that if you focus on the craft and stay true to your roots, you don't just get a happy ending. You get to create them for everyone else. But I want to hear from you. Which Peter Benson role or movie is your absolute favorite? Are you Team Detective Arthur? Or are you obsessed with his Wedding Veil trilogy? Let me know in the comments below.